All right. Today is going to be a little bit different of a session than what we've been doing previous. This running on the new React platform instead of, or React code repo instead of the um, Angular one. Let's just hide that real quick. And I don't know what this is all about. Go ahead and member generator. There we go. So that's now working in React, but one bug that we had was that we originally we should be pulling in new data from the database after we hit, or how do I hit this? If I start going through and then we wait for that 2 seconds and our little dot pops up, and then we hit the force number, which in this case is 12. At this point, I should be able to go in and update the force number or whatever mode I want to use. So let's go here, Firebase. I should be able to go in and update this to, let's say, 13. And then if I start then clicking this again, the next time that we wait for that 2.5 seconds, we should then get 13 coming up next, but we don't. We get 12 again if I hit next. And then if I start going again, now we get 13. So it's like it's caching whatever number somehow. I don't know exactly how that's working. So I was thinking for today session, we would debug that, try and figure out what's going on, fix it. And then after that, we'd go have a little bit of fun with doing some research on AI coding apps, but like which AI is best to use for coding and what to use in pros and cons and all that, just because that's fun to research. And that's kind of what I'm wanting to do right now. And I feel like that's a nice little reward for finishing this. So let's see here. I think I want to start off with, let's just read through. I'm going to start this up locally. Npm run dev. Okay. And then let's read over this code again real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and collapse our switch case, just because we already know exactly how that's working. Even on, yeah. And I think I'll put it in a console.log here, just to say when was this hit, this use effect. So we will call this forced mode use effect. And I think we'll want a couple of these because I just want to see when all these use effects get hit. This should only get hit once. This one up here. So we'll call this one first page load, first page data load. And then we'll call this next button. There we go. I think that's every use effect that we have here. We just have 3. Yeah, okay. So that'll help us to understand when each use effect is getting called. Cool. Go ahead and save that. We're going to reload this page. Oh, wait, this is not local. Here we go. That's local. Put this down at the very bottom. Reload this. And open up our DevTools. I'm just going to reload this one more time. Really good. Okay, so we had these come in, and then this one after a little bit. So, first page load. That makes sense. I'm not sure why it's running twice. First page load, next random number. Interesting. Forced mode, because the next random number changed. Looks like everything's getting hit twice. And then the next forced number. What happens if I hit next? Change this to 14. Nothing should change here. We hit this. That makes sense. The force mode gets hit, but then we return off of this because the random number matches the force number, and then we set this to null. So we hit next again. Next random number. Yeah, that's so strange. Why is it getting 13? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. It should be getting brand new refresh. That's why we're setting all this configuration data off of here, not off of this new configuration data that we get. That would be why. That's a very easy bug fix. Let's see here. We are going to do a fancy little trick. If we highlight this and then do Command F or Control F, this will find and replace only in our highlighted section. We're going to look for config. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I think I have to type it out. Config data first and then highlight. I think that's what it is. And then I can replace with configuration data. Let's try this. Looks like it's going through everything. I forgot how to do that trick. We do have to go back and change this. And we can set this to configuration data. There we go. Okay. Oh, configuration data is not going to exist outside of this scope. We'll just leave that for config data for now. I think that means that this will not get updated until, yeah. This is going to be one render cycle behind. But I can't set it as configuration data because, because it's being created inside of the set timeout function scope. I could declare this outside of the function scope, but that still runs into the same problem. I'll be able to reference that declaration outside of the scope, but it won't be updated, so it'll still be, null or whatever I set it to, an empty object. That is a tough one. I think we'll just have a known bug. Known bug. Updating the delay will need a page refresh to take effect. I think there's a way to force Angular to update state in between, or like either in between render cycles, or to force a render cycle in the middle of running, which is like not considered best practice. But I'm not sure how else I would run this. Because if I'm getting the new data that I just changed, I would expect the delay to also be updated. Let's look at the React docs real quick. Managing state. This one, preserving and resetting state. No. State structure, maybe? Hmm. Ah. Okay. Yeah, here's what it's talking about. It's just getting the current version of the state and queuing it up. It's not actually running set state when you call it. It's just queuing it up, and then it'll run it on the next rerun, next render. Updating the same state multiple times before the next re-render. It is an uncommon case, but if you would like to update the same state variable multiple times before the next re-render, then you can pass the next state. Instead of passing the next state value like that, you can pass a function that calculates the next state based on the previous one in the queue. It is a way to tell React to do something with the state value instead of just replacing it. It's not really what I was looking for. I don't think. Updating objects in state. Oop, that's the wrong one. I think what we might have to do in this context is make this database call outside of the set timeout. Let's do that. So we're going to move this up here. And then change this to, configuration data, which works. This will then be upset. Because it wants the function to be async, but if I do that, then React will get upset. So we'll have to wait, what am I doing? This is the data fetcher. I'm an idiot. I think what I should do is I should just have data fetcher return configuration data like this. No, we won't have an explicit return. We'll just have an implicit promise documentation data. Okay. And then we'll replace this whole thing with data fetcher. And that will equal const configuration data like this. Oh, and wait. Wait, this runs into the same issue. Wait for data in useEffect. Okay. UseEffect is usually the place where data fetching happens in React. Data fetches means using an asynchronous function, and using them in UseEffect might not be as straightforward as you think. There's one wrong way to do this. If you write the following code, the linter will scream at you. The issue here is the first argument of UseEffect is supposed to be a function that returns neither nothing, undefined, either nothing, or a function to clean up side effects. But async function returns a promise, which can't be called as a function. It's simply not what the UseEffect expects for an argument, the first argument. So how do you write asynchronous code in UseEffect? Simple solution is to write the data fetching code inside of the UseEffect itself. Wait. Usually the simple solution is to write it like that. Oh, interesting. One caveat is that if you use the function okay. So we'll just do a unnamed anonymous function, basically. I think you could also do a dot then, right? Yeah. Like this. Yeah. Okay. Configure And then we'll move all of this up. Ugh, dang it. Does this fix everything? Oh, there we go. But now I'm not clearing out my set timeout. This is a tricky one. I can still just have this call wait data fetcher. And then I can get rid of this because that's inside of data fetcher and this. What are we complaining about? Oh. Return configuration data. There we go. Not sure how to fix this. All right. So basically what we learned here, well, let's test it out first, actually. Next. Oh, wait, that was interesting. Why do we get this? This needs to be moved down to there. There we go. All right, let's try that again. Let's wait, make sure it doesn't. Next force number. Okay, what did we mess up here? Oh. I think I just need another one here. So basically, that the bug that we're seeing has always been a bug, but I just never noticed it because this configuration data was originally just whatever was set up here. Right? No, I'm not so sure. Maybe I just never noticed it somehow. I don't know. But this should actually be if they match, or if we're on our first run, which would be if the next random number clicked equals 0, which means we haven't clicked anything. Now we should be able to wait. Sweet, nothing's happening. We hit next a few times. Wait. Pops up. We get our thing here. Next one's 14. At this point, we will, I don't know, we'll just go ahead and hit next. We wait here. Still nothing should happen because the random number and the next force number are the same. We hit next. And at this point, the force random number is reset to null. So that at any point we can stop. Boom, this pops up. It's 14 again. At this point, or no, yeah, we hit next. Get 14. We can still wait, nothing happens because they match. At this point, we'll come in here and we'll update this to 11. Come back here, hit next. We should get 11. There we go. All right. Bug fixed. Delay in pulling in DB changes late. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Can be directly to master. Push that up. Actually, we should double check. Whoop. Our linting. Sweet, linting looks good. Okay. All right, just push that up. All right, that's all good. So I think we'll move on to, let's see here. So let's just make sure here that this runs deployment, building. Sweet. That's now updated. There's current. Refresh. Next. Bink. 11. Update this to 20. Next. 20. Nice. Cool. That works as expected. I guess we can leave this open. All right, that's exactly what I wanted to fix. We're at 37 minutes. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I think what we'll do is I'll use the next little bit to look at the AIs. And then we might move on to reading Azure pipeline docs. And the reason why is because this is what I'm using. We use Azure at work. And I'm working on getting some integration tests running in Azure pipelines. And I need to do some research on that. We also could do integration tests, Azure pipelines. Actually, no, we don't need that. What we want is test containers. So we'll look into this, his test containers thing, and then do some Googling about that. Okay. Let's see here. I like Jeff Su. He's got some good stuff. Yeah, it doesn't look like any of these are very good for I want to like compare. We'll look at Perplexity. No. I would be interested in watching this one. Let's see here. Open in Little Arc. And then I'll open this, not in coding, but in my main. Come back. All right. Chat GPT versus, we'll just leave it at that and see what we get. Which AI app is best? No. Like this is kind of what I'm looking for. But for all of them. So Perplexity isn't good for code execution or for customizable profiles, but it is good for academic content focus. I think that's because it cites its references. Which AI to use? I feel like I'm just not typing in the right keywords. Okay, I know Jeff Su has a ton of AI, so I feel like he should have something because it's got. Maybe this is it. Okay, I'm not seeing anything AI related anymore, so I'm gonna. All right. We're just going to go ahead and also pull in. Where is it? This one that I have in my other tab. Which LLM is best for programming? Let's look at these two. These are both the newest. I don't know why my eyes are so itchy right now. All right. Top contenders are ChatGPT, Claude, whatever that is. but it looks like what they're recommending for the ChatGPT style is 4.0. That person specifically said 4, but everyone else is saying 4.0. And I'm pretty sure the only one you can get for free. Oh no, I guess you can get 4.0 mini. Okay. All right, so ChatGPT or Claude is what I'm getting. Okay, so I think we'll put in this one. That seems like a really interesting prompt engineering. And then we'll do Claude versus ChatGPT. All right. I think that's good enough. There's only so much research you can do. I found like everything's around the same. You go with any market leader and like you're doing pretty good. Obviously, it's nice to get cutting edge technology, but like as long as you're not going with some weirdo and you're going with market leader like ChatGPT or Cloud or whatever, like it's all about the same. Unless someone calls out specifically, this is really bad for this, it's probably about the same. Okay, let's start with this. So we're at 50 minutes. Let me make sure that I'm sharing audio. There we go.
We're in a parade. Last week, I spent 5 hours and $49 to complete Google's latest AI Essentials course for beginners. And since I need to recoup that money to fund my addiction to parasocial relationships with AI, I made this video to share 5 key takeaways from the course, the pros and cons, and to give you a definitive answer as to whether this certificate you receive at the end will indeed get you laid. I mean, paid more because you now have a new skill. That was a weird slip of tongue there. Takeaway number 1. Broadly speaking, there are 3 types of AI tools out there. First, standalone tools are AI-powered software designed to work independently with minimal setup. This category includes general-purpose chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Perplexity, as well as specialized apps like Speako, Otter AI, Midjourney, and Gamma. Although they serve completely different needs, all these tools are classified as standalone because they can be accessed directly through their websites or apps and can be used without integration with other software. This is in contrast to the second category, tools with integrated AI features, which refers to built-in enhancements within a particular piece of software. For example, after drafting a post in Google Docs, I can either copy and paste this text over to a standalone app like ChatGPT to improve my writing, or I can use the built-in or integrated Gemini for Workspace AI feature to make adjustments. Another example would be I can either use Midjourney as a standalone tool to generate images for a presentation, or I can create an image directly within Google Slides by using, again, Gemini for Workspace. In these instances, ChatGPT and Midjourney are standalone AI tools, and Google Docs and Google Slides are tools with integrated AI features. Third, a custom AI solution is an application that's tailor-made to solve a specific problem. For instance, Johns Hopkins University developed an AI system with the sole objective of detecting sepsis. This custom AI solution improved diagnostic accuracy from 2 to 5% to an average of 40%. And if you're like me and have no technical background, you might think, oh, custom AI solutions are extremely technical and I'll probably never have to use them in the workplace. In reality, the opposite is true because well-designed custom AI solutions should require little to no technical know-how. For example, when I was in the sales team, I managed over 200 clients every quarter, and performing research on every single one was obviously time-consuming. Nowadays, there are custom AI solutions that can ingest all the information about those 200 clients, take into account factors like seasonality, historical data, and industry trends, and rank those clients by how likely they are to need assistance, helping the salesperson prioritize their time. By the way, if you're thinking of buying Google's AI Essentials course, don't, because I only found out after I pay for it, you get the AI Essentials course for free if you enroll in the Google Project Management certification on Coursera, who is kindly sponsoring this portion of the video. Regular viewers know that I have a full-time job, and project management obviously plays a large part in my day-to-day. To be transparent though, I'm mainly self-taught since there wasn't a go-to course back in the day. But I recently started project management certification on Coursera since it's now like the golden standard for project management. Project management is literally applicable to all industries and roles. So if you want to be more organized in the workplace, click the link below to enroll in the Google Project Management certification and unlock the AI Essentials course for free. Thank you, Coursera, for sponsoring this part of the video. Back to my takeaways. The second learning from the course is a prompt engineering tip, and it's to surface the implied context. To illustrate this, imagine your vegetarian friend asks you for restaurant recommendations. You instinctively reply with vegetarian-friendly options, even if your friend doesn't explicitly say, hey, idiot, make sure it's vegetarian. Here, the fact that your friend is a vegetarian is implied context and needs to be explicitly stated when communicating with AI tools like ChatGPT and Google Gemini. Another example might be you're preparing to negotiate a raise with your boss. You know in your head that last year you received a 10% increase. This year, you're the highest performer on the team, and the industry average is a 12% increase. So you decide to ask for a 15% raise. If you leave out all that implied context when brainstorming negotiation techniques with an AI tool, you will receive a lower quality, aka more generic, output. If you want to dive deeper into this, I have an entire video on how to write the perfect prompt, so I'll leave a link to that down below. And if you want to make a copy of my 5 favorite prompts for productivity, I'll leave a link to my completely free workspace toolkit as well. Takeaway number 3, know when to use zero-shot and few-shot prompting. In a nutshell, the word shot simply means examples. Zero-shot means you use a prompt with no examples. One-shot means you include one example. Few-shot means you include 2 or more examples. For instance, a zero-shot example might look something like, write me a pickup line for Bumble, which is a completely hypothetical scenario I would never condone, much less participate in. A one-shot prompt would be, write me a pickup line for Bumble. Reference this pickup line my friend used that worked well for him. And you include an example of what your friend wrote. A few-shot prompt would look the same as one-shot with just 2 or more examples of successful pickup lines. And as you can imagine, the more relevant examples you provide the AI tool, the more relevant the output. And for the record, if my future wife is watching this, I've obviously never done this myself. This is just an example for this video. As a matter of fact, I don't even use dating apps. Takeaway number 4, use chain of thought prompting for complex tasks. I've talked about this concept in previous videos, but I really like the simple and straightforward definition from Google's course. When you divide a single task into more manageable steps, you help the large language model produce accurate and consistent results. A relatable real-world example would be writing a cover letter. Option 1, you share your current resume and the job description with the chatbot and just prompt it to write you a cover letter. Option 2, with chain of thought prompting, you break the large task, writing an entire cover letter, into manageable steps, with step 1 being, based on my resume and the job description, write an attention-grabbing hook for my cover letter. Then, after making some minor tweaks to the hook paragraph, step 2 would be pasting that back into the chatbot and asking it for the body paragraph. Rinse and repeat for the closing paragraph. If you want proof that this works, I have an entire video where I show job seekers how to use chain of thought prompting to not only write cover letters, but to also improve their resumes. I'll leave a link down below. Takeaway number 5 is a topic that many of us, including myself, tend to overlook when using AI tools, and it's to understand the limitations of AI. Broadly speaking, there are 3 main limitations. First, the underlying data that is used to train AI models may be biased. If a text-to-image model is only trained on minimalistic graphics, it might not be able to produce flashy and bold designs. Second, there simply wasn't enough information in the source training data on a given topic. Many AI models have a cutoff date, so if you ask for something that happened recently, it won't have enough data on that topic to give you an accurate answer. Finally, hallucinations are AI outputs that are straight up factually inaccurate. Sometimes this is a feature and not a bug, when you're brainstorming new ideas, for example. Other times, hallucinations perpetuate false information, so you definitely want to double check your answer for what I call high-stake tasks. For example, what sort of supplement or vitamin to take given your health goals. When it comes to pros and cons, I'm going to start with who this course is not for. This course is not for you if you're already using AI tools like ChatGPT.
Okay, I guess I was kind of hopeful-ish. These two interesting. The zero shot, few shot, and the chain of thought. I've never thought about the chain of thought style. Let's look at this. Sorry, this might be a little fast. Let me drop it down to 1.5. skip over sharing because I don't really care about that for now. I just realized I was sharing the audio from tab this whole time. I'm sorry.
With my free GPT builder GPT.
There wasn't that many visuals, but
One of the best use
There you
cases
go.
is building little custom tutors for whatever you might be learning. I have a separate video that you can check out the free GPT that builds GPTs for you in the description below. And another reason to use GPTs is obviously the tooling. Data analysis, image generation, and web browsing is just something you don't get with Anthropic's Claude today. I'm sure it'll come over time, but as of today, if you want these, well, gotta use GPT for all. And then last but not least, I would just generalize and say GPTs are just better if you have a repetitive task that is super specific. And this is the reason why the store didn't work so well, because the store tries to give you generalized solutions. And the best GPTs are the ones that are custom to your very specific context. It's the reason why I think that the Apple integrations will actually work really well for all the users there, because they have your personal context. And the GPTs from the store don't. They're generic by definition. But everybody who integrates AI into their workflows and actually builds custom GPTs finds that, yeah, of course it is useful to have a brainstorming buddy for every single YouTube video that is aware of the last 10 uploads, all the titles and thumbnails I've ever used, and has a keyboard shortcut menu of various brainstorming techniques that I apply every single time when I create new video ideas. Of course that's useful, but that's probably not useful to you. That's a GPT that I built for myself and that I use all the time. But that's because it has all my personal data and context, and that's why it works so well. This is where GPTs shine, versus projects are exactly that. They're a one-off project where you might not be sure where the journey leads yet, and once you're done with it, you can archive it, and that's the end of it. All right, I hope this video was helpful to you. All the resources.
Let me show you how we do
interesting.
stuff around you. Actually, my department
I think
uses
we'll
Monday.com,
probably
so
just
I'm
stick
good.
with
Work management.
ChatGPT for now because I definitely am not using it to its fullest potential, and then maybe we'll try Claude later on. Well, maybe we'll try and log in right now. Actually, I'm not sure that I want to log in with. Forgot that I'm sharing just that tab. I'm just creating a login on my personal email for now. And then I might create a separate account for my I am Isaac Ludlow email, but I don't know because that seems like a lot of separation. I'm not sure what I want if I want that. For personal use.
ChatGPT and other LLMs to give you the perfect responses.
I think we'll just watch the introduction, the prompt engineering, and the introduction. Yeah, we'll just watch the first part of this.
Learn how to get ChatGPT and other LLMs to give you the perfect responses by mastering prompt engineering strategies. Anya Kubo is one of our most popular instructors, and in this course, she will teach you the latest techniques to maximize your productivity with large language models.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this course on prompt engineering. My name is Anya Kubo, and I'm a software developer as well as course creator here on FreeCodeCamp, as well as on my own channel. This is going to be a unique course for me, as there's going to be a lot less coding going on, but a lot more understanding about the topic of prompt engineering and why some companies are paying up to $335,000 a year, according to Bloomberg, for people in this profession. And no coding background is necessarily required. So what are we waiting for? Let's do it. In this course, we will learn what prompt engineering is exactly, get a brief introduction to AI, a look at large language models or LLMs such as ChatGPT, a look at text-to-image models such as Midjourney, a look at emerging models. This would include text-to-speech, text-to-audio, or speech-to-text, as well as prompt engineering mindset, best practices, zero-shot prompting, few-shot prompting, chain of thought, AI hallucinations, vectors, text embeddings, and also end with a quick intro to ChatGPT. So let's start off with looking at what exactly prompt engineering is in the first place. Prompt engineering, in a nutshell, is a career that came about off the back of the rise of artificial intelligence. It involves human writing, refining, and optimizing prompts in a structured way. This is done with the intention of perfecting the interaction between humans and AI to the highest degree possible. Not only that, however, a prompt engineer is then also required to continuously monitor those prompts and ensure their effectiveness with time as AI progresses. Maintaining an up-to-date prompt library will be a requirement that is placed onto the prompt engineer, as well as reporting on findings, and in general, being a thought leader in this space. But why do we need it? And how did it come about from AI? Before moving on, let's actually make sure we are on the same page about what exactly AI is. Artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence processes by machines.
Did you know that AI is set to create 97 million new jobs by 2025? These new age jobs will need skilled professionals to drive AI back.
Sorry.
I say simulation as artificial intelligence is not sentient, at least not yet anyways, meaning it cannot think for itself, as much as it may seem it does. Often, and this is certainly the case with tools such as ChatGPT, for example, when we say AI, we are simply referring to a term called machine learning. Machine learning works by using large amounts of training data that is then analyzed for correlations and patterns. These patterns are then used to predict outcomes based on the training data provided. So for example, here we are feeding data saying that if a paragraph looks like this, with this type of title, then it should be categorized as international finance. The second paragraph should be put in the category of annual reports, and so on. With some code, we should be able to train our AI model to correctly guess what future paragraphs are about. And that's it. Of course, that is a super basic example, and we would need way more data than these 5 paragraphs right here, but you get the idea. If you want to build your own AI model and understand the concept of machine learning better as a total beginner, please check out my video on it on my channel, Code with Anya Kubo. As of now, rapidly improving generative AI techniques can create realistic text responses and even images, music, and other media thanks to the huge amounts of training data and talented developers working on it today. Why is prompt engineering useful? With the quick and exponential growing rise of AI, even the architects of it themselves struggle to control it and its outputs. This might be a bit hard to understand, but think of it this way. If you were to ask an AI chatbot what is 4 plus 4, you would expect it to say 8, right? The result of 8 is pretty indisputable. However, imagine you are a young student trying to learn the English language. I'm going to show you just how different responses can be based on the prompts you feed, and in turn, your learning experience. For this example, I'm going to be using ChatGPT's GPT-4 model. So let's start with the basics. If you were to type, correct my paragraph, and then pasted a badly written paragraph, so just like this, today was great in the world for me. I went to Disneyland with my mom. It could have been better though if it wasn't raining. Great. The young English learner has a better sentence, but it kind of stops there and the learner is just left to their own devices. And honestly, the sentence really isn't that great anyway. What if the learner could get the best sentences possible from a teacher who understands their interests to keep them engaged? With the correct prompts, we can actually create that with AI. So let's give it a go and let's write a prompt to do this. So here's the prompt I'm going to give it. I'm going to write, I want you to act as a spoken English teacher. I will speak to you in English and you'll reply to me in English to practice my spoken English. I want you to keep my reply neat, limiting the reply to 100 words. I also want you to strictly correct my grammar mistakes and typos. And I want you to ask me a question in your reply. Now, let's start practicing. You could ask me a question first. Remember, I want you to strictly correct my grammar mistakes and typos. So there's my prompt. You can also go a step further and ask it to correct your factual errors too, which I think would be an excellent addition to the prompt that will benefit the young learner. Okay, so let's go ahead and add that to the prompt. Okay, and let it do its thing. And great, so now this is way more interactive. As you'll see, it's asking you a question and telling you what to do, and will provide you with corrections if needed. So in a way, you're communicating with the AI, it's giving you suggestions, and you're learning along the way. It's a completely different experience thanks to the prompt that we wrote. Pretty cool, right? We're going to be diving into a bunch of these concepts soon, but first let's start with the basics. Linguistics. Linguistics is the study of language. It focuses on everything from phonetics, so the study of how
I think we'll stop right there. Cool. This, I don't think we're gonna go over the rest of this, except for maybe this prompting guide. No, I don't think so. That'll probably get covered in. Oh, whoops! Forgot to share your entire screen. Okay. Going back to this page, I don't think we'll go over this prompting guide or this. Well, maybe we'll watch those. So I'll leave this up. Go ahead and click on this. And there we go. So I've got these two. Finish up this tutorial, close out these, and then we'll do the Azure Pipeline stuff next. This is done, so we'll go ahead and close out all of the not so random number generators. I still kind of am interested in this, Fluxbox versus Grid and Material UI. We can leave open the event loop and close down this. And I don't have my server running locally for the UI, so that's fine. Cool. I think that's it for today. See you guys.